Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. And after a long while, we are back with EnduroXperience GT7 League. Because especially today, I've decided that I'll be taking this time to live stream and do a little bit of commentary as usual. Because today is today we have Asia Cup final. So we have in the season 3 we have 3 regions, actually the divided regions by the GT7. Like we had Americas, and we had Europe, and we had Asia. Actually we did not have Europe, Middle East, because that was something happened recently with the Tech 3 update. But so for us today, it's the final race for the Asia series. So Mount Panorama, I mean technically it's not Asia, but as per GT7 it is included in the Asian map, so we thought we'll just include that one as well. But anyway, without further ado, let me check if my microphone and everything is audible, and if everything is in order. All right. All right, everything is in order. So we are currently, we have 10 minutes remaining for the practice / qualifying, because we know we have people who go to work and people might not get time to actually put on some practice to figure out the strategy, at least to see like, okay, the tire compound and how long it'll last or anything like that. So that's why we have this different format of practice / qualifying all in one. So it's a 1-hour session, and where you get to do your practice, and then at the same time, if you want to do your qualifying also, you can set a time. So that's what is happening. We have 12 people in total, and we have some pro drivers, pro am, and the am drivers all in a mix right now. And we do have separate championships running in each and every region. So for Asia Cup, let me just go into the driver standings. I'll just go through like maybe like the top 5 or 6 drivers. So let me go into the results, and we go to the driver championship. All right, so as of now, in the endurance championship, we are looking at, as of right now, you can see Scott AK, that he's in P5 right now, P6. He was dropped into P6 because GT7 has this thing that whenever somebody goes into the pits, their time is going to get taken away. So that is Scott AK, that he's the one who's leading the drivers championship with 161 points. And we have Timo, who's currently in P1, who we are watching right now. He's in P2 with 146 points. That is 15 points difference, but then there is a total of 35 points up for grabs. So I've been away from the league, so the scoring system has been changed a little bit, and I'm not quite up to date with it. And but yeah, so basically Timo has a chance to get this done if Scott finishes somewhere at the bottom part, because the points, the amount of points that Timo can grab, his maximum is 35, but there will be drivers like pro drivers who are not taking part of qualifying, and they are just doing the laps. And so yeah, So the pro drivers, among the pro am, they feel like they need a little bit more challenge, so they are just holding back and not doing the qualifying, and they are going straight into the race because the race is 2 hours, and they'll be gaining position that way. So in third place we have Edis, currently running in P5. Let me just switch to him. Currently running in P5, and he has total of 137 points. And we do have Keepsy currently running in P2. Let me just place my controller somewhere safe. P4 in the driver standing, that is Keepsy, and he's having 129 points. And a P5 is an amateur driver who is currently, I probably believe, somewhere here, right here. Let me see. I'm quite not sure why it's not working. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Dr. Katz, aka Andre, he's the one who's sitting at P5 with total of 116 points. And we have P6. That'll be Carlos. Let me see where he is. Yeah, he's currently in P5. So yeah, that is Carlos at P7 with total of 112 points. And we have P8. We have P7 Sway. We have with 111 points. I think Sway will be joining a little bit late because of course people have work and they come from work and they're going to join late. And we have Nereus running at P8, and okay, he just set the fastest time right here. The man of the hour, Nereus, is running with 110 points, and he's at P8. And P9 we have Monte Carlos. As I remember, he's a pro driver. I'll go through the driver rankings a little bit later. So 109 points. 109 points in total. I think Monte Carlos is a pro-am driver. All right. So, and lastly, that is P10. That would be Musi. Musi is currently running P3. And yep. So he's there with 74 points. All right. Okay. Let's go with the driver ratings. I think the driver division, sorry, not the ratings. Narix is a pro-am driver. He's currently in pro-am. And we have Keepsy, he's a pro-am driver. Musi, pro-am driver. And Safe, I'm not quite sure actually, because I have not seen him anywhere, or did I see him somewhere? Do we have yeah, okay, yeah, Safe is here. Actually, he's a pro driver, so yep. So he'll be in a different category. And then Leadfoot, we have a pro driver, and maybe they are not putting their best, or maybe they are running with hard tires. We don't know because I have not turned on that feature to see what tires they are on. And yeah, so yeah, if they want to qualify, they can qualify. If they want to do this, in fact, he's actually going a little bit far on the sector 2. And then we have Scott. He's a pro-am driver, probably looking to be joining pro drivers and coming into the pits right now. And we have Dr. Katz, aka Andre. He's an AM driver, Orca. Yeah, this one I'm not quite sure. No, I'm quite sure. Well, he's a pro-am driver, but I don't know. Like, maybe he's not setting up a time. I haven't seen that he's setting up a time. Now it's his outlap. I don't think that he's gonna do a time, I guess. Not quite sure. And we have Timo, pro-am driver, and then we have Monte Carlos, pro-am driver. So actually, overall, a good turnout. We are expecting 13 drivers. So I'm not quite sure what's the time for Timo. I think Timo's time has already been beaten by Leadfoot and yeah, Nerix and Leadfoot, and I think Timo will sit perfectly in the P3 at the starting grid, and I'm quite sure it's gonna be a grid, not a grid start, but a rolling start, as how endurance racing should be. All right, but anyway, let's watch out. Let's check out Neris. I don't think he's doing any lap as of right now. He's with the blinkers on, so let's look at Leadfoot. If he's doing any lap, then we can maybe go on board as well. I mean, the hood camera will be awesome. Oh, I think he has to abandon his lap now. Yep. He lost the control there and ran into the wall. Let me just go to 80s. Maybe 80s might be setting up a lap. He's just going the downhill. Just going really wide. What is this? Ah, okay, he's just starting the uphill. Not. Did I say he's going downhill? Not quite sure it's gonna be a good lap for him. Seems to be, yeah, he had a contact with the wall, so let's see the sector 2, how it's gonna be. No, he's 4 seconds down. Let's look at Keepsy climbing the hill right now. Let's see, the fastest time that he has set is 2:05.414. Let's see what he can do. I don't know whether this is the lag or actually the car is he lost control there for a bit, but no, goes wide. He did not have that in the bag. Did not have. Oh shoot, the keyboard just now disconnected. Let me see what's the problem with it. I think the keyboard is not being detected in certain USB ports. Let me check that. Technical issues. Pardon. Alright, we are back in business. Keyboard is working. Let's see if Leadfoot is doing a lap. No, he's already 9/10 down. I don't think, yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Let's switch to 80s and see if anybody's doing a lap. Okay, I do have some connection issue with the keyboard. I need to figure that one out, what's going on. Is Keepsy going for a lap? That's personal best, 0.004 of a second up through the first sector. Let's see if he can improve. I'm gonna keep the controller anywhere close to me, just in case. Goes into the grass a little bit. Scythe goes fastest with a 2:03. My god, that's a monstrous lap. Keeps is already down on his time. Let's see at the end of the third sector, what's his time's gonna be. Is he gonna be up or down? Yeah, he's 1.5 seconds down. And let's look at Musi. What are the times that he's doing? He has done only 2:05. He has not gone into 2:04s, but I think there is. Timo is in 2:04s. That's a mighty lap from Timo as a pro-am driver. When the pro drivers like Leadfoot is doing 2:04s, yeah, that's a mighty lap from Timo. Let's see what's the lap is gonna be. Escaping it inside the track. He's just doing the outlap, and we have Sway joined in. So this will be his outlap, and I think we are about to start the race right now. So this is basically gonna be how late you're gonna brake at turn 1. I mean, it's a 2-hour race, but people will try to go for it. So I believe that it's gonna be like how late you're gonna be braking at turn 1, and then how much of a better exit you're gonna get through turn 1. I mean, that's gonna carry you all the way to the turn 2. Let me just open a bit of a map. No, I think he had an oversteer there. That's anybody else setting up times here? You can see, oh, Carlos just stepped into the grass and lost it. Really bad timing to change the camera. And here we have Mr. Scott. All right, 10. Okay, Orca is gonna be leaving the room and come back and join. Gonna sit at the end of the grid because, like I said, he's the fastest driver currently in the league. So won't be much of a problem for him. I don't expect any surprises, but braking super late. That's pretty impressive, actually. See, outlap? No, right? He's okay. He's doing a lap. He goes 2:05.998. Improvement, I believe so. I guess no. I don't think that. Oh no, that's an improvement actually. 2:05.998. Let's see if anybody else improving. Let's see Leadfoot. What does Leadfoot have in the back for us? He's starting a fresh lap. Seems to be struggling with the exits, but I'm quite sure. These are the pro drivers. You can watch them and learn something. But for me, no, that's a different case. I don't learn anything. Just watch them. That's about it. So we have like 10 minutes, and I'll be putting the timestamps, of course, at the in the video once it goes live. So there will be timestamps for anybody if they wish to skip it and watch it, watch the race, just the race. Anyhow, it's gonna be a really long race. I think he lost it, or is that a lag? I think there could be a lag. Could be he lost it, but let's see how the sector times are coming in. It's gonna be. No, he's already down, almost 2 seconds down. I'm not sure how Kepsi has done it, but let's see. No, that must have been an outlap for Kepsi. I think everybody as of right now is gonna be on the soft compound, and he improved a little bit from his personal best. He's going green actually. Let's see how he does the mountain sector, the climb. Just don't forget, like Kepsi is the one who won season 2 Mount Panorama race. That was his first race, Kepsi. That's when we first met him, and he can go for it actually, but as of right now with the pro. But let's see, when it comes to the division, he's half a second down already. But let's see what he can do in the race, because his strategy was really solid the last time, as I remember. And he barely made any mistakes. He kept it on the track. And 5 minutes till the start comes from the admin. Well, actually, he improved through that sector. That was only 2/10 down. Can he get a personal best here? Can he do a 2:0? Oh, that's really unfortunate. Nerix goes 2:04.572. That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. That is, and it is against a pro driver like Leadfoot. But let's see what's the time. 2:05.93.2. Not quite enough. Not quite enough. No improvement. Let's look at Leadfoot. He's coming for another run, and we are at the end of third sector. 8 seconds down. Maybe he's just doing this is just a cool down lap, and he's going for it, because they have 5 minutes now, maybe around. We have some people in the pits. Let's just go see their times. Okay, Andre at 2:10. He's already in mediums, and we have Edie's 2:05, 2:05.3. He's on mediums. I think he's starting. He's getting ready for the race right now. And Timoda's pretty solid 2:04.9, and he's already on medium tires. He's ready to go. And Saif, alright, the question is from Saif is that I don't think that once he quit, I don't think that his lap time gonna be saved there. No, you'll be starting at back of the grid. Yeah, good luck with that. That's why usually Orca, I think. Oh my word. Orca is in a. Is that a Supra? That is a Supra. And we cannot see anything. Wow, Orca is taking up a challenge. He's on a Supra. My goodness. I mean, he's the fastest driver, so he's pretty much saying, hey, look at me. I can drive whatever I want and still beat your ass. Yeah, not like that, but I mean, yeah, he's in an old gen. I mean, an old gen car. I think this is like a Super GT something series, something like that. But I mean, he's a really fast driver. I mean, that car is really, really nice. Just that exhaust sound is pretty nice. All right, 1 minute till start. And I'm hoping this everything works. I mean, this the key bindings, like the replay mode. I'm hoping that so I can get like a turn one, a backed up turn one. But let's see. Well, I'm excited, of course. I'm really excited, actually. The banter. Okay, so Timo, what he has to do is just to, I mean, his starting position is compared to Scott. He's way up. I think maybe like he's like starting in the top 3. So he just have to forget about all the pro drivers. Let them pass by. And do your thing, basically. I mean, I'm not quite sure how the scoring system is. It done for all the drivers at once, or it's just division wise? But I hope that it's division wise, because that's gonna give us a really good fight. All right, let's see what are the tires that people are running. All right, can I say like good luck or no? Nope. All right, as of right now, it's only Nereus and Orca just running around. That's it, and everybody is in the pits, and some are okay. Scott, Carlos, yeah, hard tires. Keep Mercy, Timo are in medium tires, 80s, Leadfoot, Nereus, and I think rest of them are the hardest tires. Okay, not the hardest, the hard tires. Okay, Timo's starting at P3. All right, so that is really solid. I mean, Nereus is super solid lap, really great lap from a pro-am driver. So we are starting the race at night time. Here we go. The countdown's going on. Here we go. The race is on, and here we go for the turn one. We have plenty of space for the drivers. The gap's okay. I can see some cars have piled up there. I'm not quite sure what is that about, but I can see a couple of cars have piled up. But let me see. That is Musi and Monte Carlos. I'm not quite sure what happened there. All right. I'm quite interested to see what is going on, and we have side by side Safe and Timo. We have side by side. I think Safe, did he get past Timo? Not quite sure, but the lag is pretty strong on his part. The car is waving left and right. I hope that doesn't cause anything for other drivers around him, but there's something happened at the start of the race, and I'm not quite sure what was that, but We have Saif actually touching the wall there. There was sparks flying, and everybody's are currently in this order that they have started, and you can see Saif is desperately trying to make a move on Timo, but Timo is just holding it in, and I mean, he's not gonna give it up that easy, but we can see. I mean, it depends with the with the car and the straight line speed now, and how much of a better exit that he gets. We can see Saif is catching up really fast. The gap is no, actually, he's not catching up really fast. I think Timo got a better exit right there overall, and Nereus and Leadfoot goes past Nereus there. Oh, that's a really brave move. I think he just moved into the inside, and Nereus is going to the pits, and I'm not quite sure whether he's gonna ditch the hard tires now. Is he? It is going into the pits as well. So this could be a strategy from that team. I believe they are in the same team. They're going to ditch the hard tire and then switch to the medium compound. Let me see if he can get any. Let's say, whoa, something has happened. I'm not quite sure what happened. Musi is currently running in. Let me see. Oh, Musi ran wide and went into the dirt, and Monte Carlos followed him as well. Oh, that's really unfortunate. And Monte Carlos, I mean, he was out of the track as well, and Musi as well. I'm not quite sure how that was happened. Was there any push from the back? Gotta check that. Do we have any? Alright, no. That is just Monte Carlos is just going on his own. That is just Monte Carlos just going on his own, but I gotta check on Musi. Alright, I'm really sorry about this because I'm really new to this. I wanted to know what happened to Musi. No, we cannot catch that. We cannot catch that. That is really unfortunate. That is really unfortunate. So we have a couple of Nereus is all the way out. Okay, I'm just okay, yeah, alright. Nereus, because he's all the way back, because I thought something has happened. My short-term memory, but I wanted to see one more time. I'm really sorry. I just wanted to see one more time what happened. No, we cannot see. There is nothing else. I don't know whether he got bumped from the back or anything. I think could be that he was bumped from the back. And Timo got past Leadfoot. All right, that is interesting. And I have not seen, and then I have no idea how the race info not quite sure how the tire info is showing. Not quite sure actually. Let me just turn off everything. All right, I'm really sorry about this. Okay, Timo is running a really solid pace as of right now. He's in clean air. And we have Saif and Leadfoot fighting for P2, while closely followed up by Keepsy, but I don't think somebody else just hit the wall. I'm not quite sure who that is, but I'm suspecting that is Carlos, or aka Orange Falcon. Somebody's spinning at the back. I'm not quite sure who that is. some action is going on, and I'm not sure entirely who those guys are, but there is a close fight actually going on between 80s and Mussy. Mussy currently sits at P10, and this is a close fight between Mussy and 80s. Look at the gap. It's just 1/10 of a second, and Timo sets the fastest lap at 2:06, and 80s now side by side, and it gets the move done. Yeah, that was a sure. Yeah, that move was coming from at that exit. Where's my map? Where's my race map? I wanted to see where's my race map. So yeah, he had a better exit throughout that straight. I mean, at the corner exit, and he got it done pretty nicely. So we saw Lidford came into the pits, and everybody is now ditching the hard tire, and Saif is still running strong. He's 6 tenths up through the second part of the track. Now they are going down the hill towards I believe turn 12 and turn 13. No, actually now they're actually going towards, is that I think that is, they're currently 1 second already up. And he's flying as of right now, and I'm not quite sure what's the time for Orca is. I gotta check on him. But he's closing, and you can see the gap is okay. Now the better exit from Timo there, but he sets the fastest time 2:05, and now it all comes down to this exit, and he seems to get a better exit, and he's in the slipstream. He'll probably gonna send it into the turn 2. And I need a better map with the turn numbers. And he hasn't yet done the move, but looks like Timo has made a contact with the wall. He's trying the outside Saif, but I'm not quite sure. Yeah, that's a safe place to overtake, especially all this the mountain part is not a place to overtake. Not a place to overtake, but I mean, it's not really ideal, but anyway, on the track is a place to overtake, so that's fine. But let's see, it all comes down to the corner number. Let's see. Okay, I got a good map right. Yeah, all comes down to corner, yeah, turn 18 and 19, and then they're gonna go into the straight. This is where it all comes down to. Looks like that's not a really great exit, but it's a good exit, and then he's in the slipstream. Not quite sure how's the top speed of the GTR is. He's gonna make the move, but I was about to say if they are side by side, Timo has the advantage, but Timo braked early, and Saif went little bit too ambitious, and it goes into the grass. Saif goes into the grass. Kipsy followed him through the grass, and I think something has happened to Kipsy. He went to the other side of the track as well. I think he just followed Saif and completely missed the braking point there, and Timo now has almost 1.8 seconds of a gap. Yeah, it was I mean, the move was there, of course, but Timo braked even early, and I thought actually Saif is gonna brake a little bit later and get the move done, but actually it looks like he misjudged the braking point entirely and went off the track. And Carlos 12 seconds behind the leading pack. Actually, the leading three is pretty far off. If you think about it, actually the leading pair. It's not a complete pack. It's just Timo and Saif. And then we have a pack followed up by Scott. And I'm really sorry, I saw that there were some moves were done, but I couldn't capture it because I just got stuck on the restart. I wanted to see what happened there between Mus and Monte Carlo. I'm not quite sure whether Mus got hit by somebody from behind because there was a damage to the rear bumper, but his car spun like 360, so I'm not quite sure is that caused by the barrier or anything. So we're just only not even 15 minutes into the race. There was so much happening. And Monte Carlo seems to have gained some places. And Orca will be, of course, following, gaining some places as well. And I believe so, Leadfoot as well. And so as of right now, the battle is going for P1 and P2. And they're back at it. Now the gap has come down. It is clear that Saif, of course, the pro driver, closing the gap really fast, but Timo is doing everything in his power to keep that P1. I mean, that clean air, he needs that, and then and of course, overtaking is not really easy on this track, so he wanted to keep that track position. Doesn't matter that whether the guy is from a pro division or even a professional driver. I mean, it's a professional driver or anything. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Looks like he's now catching up. He's down to 2/10. Timo seems to have got a really bad start to the start of the climb, but seems like he's in control as of right now. But let's see. I mean, there's gonna be a move after turn 18 and 19. There's definitely gonna be a move after turn 18 and 19 if this continues. But as you can see, I think the NSX is much better on the turns, I guess. And the acceleration part, you can see it's already now extended the gap up to 5/10 compared to previously when they made the move. It was just like 2/10. But as of right now, you can see the gap is coming down, but it's really not that quick. So I think at around turn 19 he needs to be like almost at 2/10 to get the move done, and he's putting a lot of pressure right now on Timo, and it seems like he's full focused. So yeah, this is gonna go for a couple of laps if Saif does not screw up. But you can see Saif is sliding here and there, and I'm not quite sure what's the tire that they are running, but I mean, I can turn it on and see it, but that's gonna kill the entertainment for me. I mean, it's not gonna be that much immersive. So we have Keepsy at P3 and Orange Falcon at P4, and the gap is between Orange Falcon and Keepsy 6 seconds, and Keepsy and Saif, it is almost, we are looking at a 9 seconds gap. And we have our usual suspects right here, Scott and EnduroX. Our usual fights, our usual battles are here. And Scott has not pitted, and okay, Nereus is actually okay, Leadfoot has gone through Nereus, and now Leadfoot is chasing up Scott, and Saif got the move done this time. Let me see. Probably after the turn 1, but I'm not quite sure. Because now we are well. Let me just see. Let me just check my luck. No, the move was already done. Move was already done, so there is nothing much I can do. Okay. Oh, that was a bad hit. That was a bad hit, and that opens up the door for Keepsy. Keepsy was rolled behind, but Timo was really focused and kept it going on. But now he's gonna lose not just one place, he's gonna lose 2 places here. He's dropped back to P3 because of that error right there, and that got his car completely stopped. He was not just even rubbing the wall, it's just completely made the car come to a halt, and the gap is already now 10 seconds plus. So I think Saif is doing a little bit of Tokyo Drift moves as well, but he's fine. He's fine. He'll survive. And Leadfoot actually got past Scott and Nereus. Okay, he got past Scott, and Nereus got past Scott, and I'm not quite sure what happened there. Alright, I really need to turn this on, and I'm really sorry for this, because I just have to I mean, we do have everything in the display. I don't like it, but I think I have to start live with that. So something definitely had happened. That is why Scott is currently in the lead, and we have 80s, and we definitely have a battle here. Do we have a battle? Okay, we have Sway on Orca. I don't think. Let's see how Sway's gonna fight this, because Orca is obviously the faster driver here, and he climbed not many positions. He climbed only 2 positions, because I'm not quite sure whether he pitted or not, because there was so many drivers. I mean, we do not cover like all the drivers. When we are just spectating the drivers ahead, we cannot see what the drivers behind do, and it's really hard. Okay, Monte Carlos got a half a second penalty. Somehow he went off the track somewhere. And yeah, like I was saying, we don't see like what's going on at the back of the pack. I don't know whether they have pitted or not, and it is really hard to just keep an eye on just the minimap. And here comes Orca. Here comes Orca. He's closing the gap, and he's faster, and he's side by side, gets the move done quite comfortably, goes up a place, and getting to Pete. And is it gonna be 2 in 1? That is simply okay. Sway completely lost it. Just hit the grass, and he completely lost it, and I completely lost my camera. Who was I watching there? And I thought that was gonna be a 2 in 1 move for Orca, but yeah, he's just reckless. I mean, not reckless as in a bad way, but he's just fast. And Monte Carlos, these are 2 Saudi drivers. I believe these are in the same team, actually, given that this is a team championship. I believe championship, not a shit, sorry. And yeah, he's blinking the lights, but I don't think like Monte Carlos is much convinced to give that place back. And somehow Orca has to I think follow him through this hill section and then the downhill section, and probably after turn 18 and turn 19 he can get the move done. But as of right now, the gap is pretty high. That is over 1.1 second. And Musi, I'm not quite sure whether he came to the pits or not. And while I do have this replay section, the camera and everything, but I actually, oh, that was really bad. From what is happening with this Monte Carlos, I just need to check that a little bit. I need to see what is happening. Is that he has indicated with the way is that not quite sure what that was, but this is the old Supra versus a new Supra. I'm not quite sure what is actually going on, and then Orca is struggling to get the move done. Let's just go back to this one and look what happened. I think Monte Carlos just lost. Yeah, he just lost the car, and he was trying to recover and then collected Orca on the way. They were going side by side, but I don't think they had enough speed. I think Orca did not have enough speed to go through that. Anyway, and these two are still actually fighting for this place, and he's now 7/10. He's close to gap, but let's see what's gonna happen. And Monte Carlo seems to be struggling a lot. Let me just check. He's on the medium tires, but his tires are a little bit eaten up at the front, and Orca's tires are pretty much I think compared to Monte Carlo's tires are good enough. Seems like he's doing a better job with his tires. And we have a beautiful sunrise, and I hope that Scott will take some good screenshots, good photos with that sunrise. And this is gonna be a really intense fight between these two Saudi drivers. And he went into the wall at the same corner, the same way. Look what happened. He touched the other wall and he lost complete control over there. We have Orange Falcon, and I think I'm gonna just keep the tire, the speed and the fuel map, everything just on the screen, because it's gonna I mean, I don't want to turn it off completely every time I check a replay. I don't want to do that. And we do have a pack all the way behind. Let me check who's that. It's gonna be 80s and Scott, and something has happened. Did something happen? Oh, did Scott came from the pits or what? 80s have a look from the inside, but Scott is a really difficult driver to overtake. He defends really nicely, and it's not gonna be an easy job for 80s to overtake Scott. But let me just. Okay, it's just the exit. I thought that he was just going to going through the. I thought maybe he came from the pits, but it's not. He's not from the pits. He's just he was just doing a regular lap, and he's on a hard tire, and he's going for 12 laps right now, and we are at 25-minute mark. Touched the wall a little bit there. We still have some fights going on with Orca, Monte Carlos, and Musi. Okay, this is gonna be really interesting. Let's keep an eye on Musi, because Monte Carlos seems to be struggling a lot, and he cannot keep the car on the track. And there are battle scars on Musi's car. You can see that. And Musi gets a really good slipstream, and he's down to 3/10, and the gap is going down. But is it enough to make a move. Is it enough to make a move? But it looks like Monte Carlos is waving a little bit. I'm not quite sure. Oh, we get this please refuel thing, and it is a bit annoying, of course. I think I might have to turn off that thing. Okay, so I think these two are gonna fight for a bit here. The gap is climbing up to 7/10, and Orca is now a good 3 seconds clear, and I think he's gonna get Monte Carlos into the wall. Gets that exit wrong, and I think he's struggling a lot with the tires. Doesn't seem that his tires are that bad, but oh well. Sway gets through, but gets past, and he lost 2 positions there. And we have Andre at P13. He's 1 minute to the leader. And this is one of the oldest, not one of the oldest members. He's the oldest member in the league, racing and learning ever so slightly, of course. But the most important thing that he's having fun while racing with everybody else. So, well, that's what really matters actually when you're in a game. And really unfortunate, gets a little bit oversteer, because that's a really tricky part to get right on that uphill climb. So that's a bit unfortunate. And we have Safe with medium tires, and he seems to be flying right now, 18 seconds ahead, and I don't think anybody can catch him. And Kipsy at P2, and running his favorite car, the GTR, and yeah, he's a solid driver. Just not to forget that, like I said, last season 2, he's the one who won Mount Panorama. He had a really great race. He had a really great strategy with him. So I'm not really surprised that if he managed to get this win under his belt for his class. So I'm not really surprised right there. And we have P3. Are we expecting a battle between Timo and Carlos? Are we actually? Orange Falcon is, aka Carlos, is one of the most improved drivers. I mean, he started at amateur division, AM division, but he slightly improved little by little, and currently he's running in Pro-Am because he had some really solid races and really good performance, of course, throughout the season, and that actually proved that he does not belong in AM anymore, because he can deliver some good results. I mean, as of right now, you can see clearly, along with Keepsy, and it seems like he did not make any mistakes, and he's hanging on with the crowd now at a podium position. I mean, if you think about just the divisions, then he's clearly in P2 right now. Dropping into Timo. Well, the tires are already halfway done, and I think Carlos is giving a hell of a competition here to Timo. I mean, they were like 6/10 before, and now it is going up to going about 1 second, but now the gap is again coming down ever so slightly, I believe. So I think maybe he's getting a slipstream effect somehow. And we do have a close runners, and I'm not quite sure who are they, and I believe that is number 7, 80s. I think we can just look at 80s. Okay, 80s and Scott, but after that I think we have some gap. But let's look at Orca. Okay, Orca was running close, and Musi now went into the pits. I think that is his first pit stop. And Orca, I believe, yet to pit. And if we look at the times of Orca, I mean, he haven't. I don't see any 206s. Could be the traffic, most probably, but I don't think he's a slow driver by any means. You know what he does. And yeah, he's driving his old Supra, but of course there was a little bit of a touch to the wall. And all the drivers seems to be like panned out a lot. We have only two guys, two groups that are running close. That is Scott and 80s, and then we have Timo and Carlos. So let's go to that battle. Right now they are really close. Timo just overshoot air slightly, and I'm not quite sure what just happened there with Timo. Let's look at him. Carlos goes defensive, and I think that was little too late catching that braking point. But it's all right. It's all right. No harm done. And Carlos goes really defensive, and that is really nice. He really executed that defense nicely, and yeah, Timo, I think, wanted to brake a little bit late and get some overlap to the exit, but so he can maybe make up some ground through that until the turn 1, but did not work. But I'm glad that nobody ran into gravel or anything, and then because we still have a fight to watch. And the gap is still ever so slightly closing it to 3/10 as of right now. I think this is going to be a move. This can be a move. Let's go on board. Let's go to the hood camera and let's look at this. He's catching up, but not enough to get that move done. He's looking into the inside, but if he go to the inside, and then he's gonna end up on the... Oh, that's a little bit of a late move right there from Timo. I think he did the... Oh, that was just so unlucky. That was just so unlucky. That was so unlucky. He comes out from the grass, and because of the dirty tires, yeah, that's and he's going into the pits right now, and this is gonna be his first pit stop. Actually, you can see the rears are actually cooked a little bit, and that gives his main opponent is Scott, and he's running a really good stint right here. 17 laps on hard tires. I think looks like that he can go up to like 25 laps, I believe so. So he's keeping the car out of curbs, and he's keeping the traction control a little bit on, and that helps as well for him to keep the tires alive, because the tires are not gonna spin as much as when you have the TC off at the exits. Let's see what Mr. Consistent can do here. He seems to be doing a really good stint right now, but he needs to make up a lot of I think a huge gap to Timo. But I haven't seen Timo on a harder compound tire. I think we saw him with the mediums. He got a 4-second penalty. Okay, probably for the pit entry, and then possibly for crash. I think, I'm not quite sure, but what happened. I did not see him getting a penalty picked up, but this is gonna turn things upside down completely. A 4-second penalty is a huge one. He had a really great start at P3, and there was only 15 points difference, but then now this is gonna open the door to Sway as well. Sway is gonna take that position, and even Edie is gonna take that position. Of course, 4 seconds meaning like 5-6 seconds, I think, in total, when he's come back to the speed. But that's a really big blow for Timo's race, and that opened the door up to Scott. Actually, now he's quite comfortably running at the front. So this is what you need, like, when it comes to endurance. You need to just, not just the lap times, you just need to keep the car steady. You need to keep the car on the track, and no mistakes, less mistakes, and then you'll be set, actually. Do we have a fight on our hand? That's gonna be 5, 6, 7, I think P8. Yeah, this is gonna be Sway and Edie's under 1 second. So let's see the Hunter's perspective a little bit. He's closing up the gap there. I think Sway made a little bit of a mistake there. Maybe he touched the wall. Keepsy comes into the pits as well. Opened the door for Sway. Gets the move done. That's a pretty easy move because Sway makes a mistake, and Edie's get the move done really easily. Slides a bit and opens the door, and Edie's just goes through. Simple as that. And then actually that made the door open for Timo as well. Timo is now under 7/10 of a second, and he's catching up. I think Timo has the pace to go. Just need to keep it on the track and make no mistakes whatsoever, and he can make some places up. But now anyhow, the gap between Timo and Scott seems to be a little bit high as of right now. But then Scott has to pit from his hard tires, and Timo is now again back in medium tires. Sway now have to keep the car on the track, zero mistakes, because Timo is catching up really fast. And this is the fight between two Belgians. And I'm guessing that Timo is gonna get the move done after the same mistake, the same place, the same error. So he lost the car just right there. Yeah, that's yeah. Clean move right there. No drama whatsoever. Well, I should have reversed it a little bit. Let me check. Let me check if you can get a better empty count. It's the same place that he lost the car. Yeah, he's running very low amount of fuel there. And Sway comes into the pits. I believe this is his first pit stop. We can go and see Orca now gained up like what 7 or 8 positions, and we have a good battle right now between Carlos and Nereus. Let's always look at the hunter, of course. Let's go into the hood camera and let's see this battle. I think this has something to do with me. Every time I switch onto a camera, somebody spins. And I was like grabbing my beer. Okay, let me just enjoy this fight for few minutes, few laps. There goes the car. Let's look at I think we can look at Carlos. I think Orca just overtook Carlos, I think, and seems like he had a better exit, but I'm not quite sure whether okay, he's catching up, but I don't think that he's gonna challenge Orca. But you never know. You never know. You're open to challenge anybody, as long as you do your overtakes fair and square. But knowing Orca, I mean, he just gained just 1 second out of that corner. I mean, he's the fastest driver in the league as of right now, but now Saif, I don't believe Saif started at all the way at the back, but it's of right now. I think when it comes to consistency, Orca, he's the fastest and probably the best driver that we have in our league, and I think we can watch Orca makes another overtake. And this is now pro driver versus pro driver, but when it comes to the pro drivers, there's bit of course, bit of a skill gap within the pro driver category, because we consider like mostly A drivers and A plus drivers. So, and there is a higher B drivers who are at the very end of that scoring or the points. Yeah, they will be also considered into that bracket. So it's not gonna be like entirely fair like 100%. You cannot just make it, and I'm quite sure that it is the same thing with GT7 scoring system, that it is not entirely like I've seen when I was in a C lobby, on top of the C lobby, then I get to race with the B drivers as well. So does Orca is gonna make a move on Leadfoot? Because I don't think anything happening at top of the field. I think somebody is going to lap someone at top of the field, because it is Orca and Leadfoot. And then where is Keepsy? Yeah, this is gonna this is for lapping Andre. So I think we can safely come back to this fight right here. And we don't see, I mean, for me, I don't see. Okay, Orca comes into his pit stop. There goes that battle. And then we can go into Orange Falkenstein. but the gap is almost between Leadfoot and Orange Falcon. I don't think like there's gonna be a huge fight there, but maybe we can, maybe, just maybe. Okay, it is Nereus versus Timo. I think, is it gonna be an overtake? Now they are almost arriving the braking point. So I believe Timo has fresher tire compared to Nereus. But let's see who has better pace. These two drivers are not gonna give up this position that easily. They are closing. They are closing. Just under 2/10, just under 2/10, and keeping it really safe. And what I mean, both of them are really good drivers, really safe drivers. Respect, a lot of respect for each other. And Timo, of course, I have to acknowledge, Timo has improved a lot since I raced in the league. I think if I ever join the Pro-Am league, I'll be all the way at back of the pack. That is 100%. And here comes Nereus, goes to the outside, go touch the grass a little bit. Almost have a little bit of an oversteer. Okay, they both goes into the grass. Seems like a better exit from Nereus there. Of course that is. Now this comes down to the turn one. Who's gonna brake late and who's gonna get the better exit? Can get the better. Not quite sure. I think it seems like Timo has better acceleration and he got a better exit overall, because he seems to be pulling us slightly there at the start of that straight. It's gonna get really intense right now. I'm very sorry for this. Ooh, what a save there. What a save. What a save from Nereus. This is really, really intense racing right here. Nereus goes into the grass but keeps it under control so far. This is really close, but it is not that close. But this is now, this time around, it's 6/10. This time around it's not that close, so that's why I pulled the camera out to just the normal view. I think Nereus is really brave on the brakes. I think he's braking a little bit late. There was a yellow flag. Something has happened. Something has happened. And I'm not quite sure who that is. Could be Edis. Or could be Andre. Let me just rewind it. Is it Andre? Okay, that is Andre. Just, oh, that's a little bit of acceleration. Almost picked up Leadfoot. Okay, that was ghosting. Okay, that's a really good rejoin there by Andre. Just had a little bit too much acceleration coming out from that grass, made him immediately spin. And Scott has made his pit stop, and now everybody is back to medium tires. Everybody ditched their hard tires, I believe, now. And then the gap to Mercy, who's up ahead, is 16 seconds. That's a huge gap, and we still have this fight going on. And now the back markers coming into the play, and this is gonna get really spicy between these two. Nereus is gonna follow up. They try to do the overtake, does the bump drafting a little bit, so both of them can get through the back marker. Mr. Andre goes into the grass but keeps the car in control, and Nereus also lost the control there a little bit. I think Nereus is struggling a little bit right there. But the battle still goes on, and we do have a couple of gentlemen up ahead. I believe so. That is, if we go into Edie's camera, that is Edie's Orange Falcon and Leadfoot. Leadfoot somehow dropped by 13 seconds. Is it? Was he always had 13 seconds? I have no idea, but the gap between Leadfoot and Orange Falcon is just a little bit. It was slightly under 2 seconds, but now I think, yeah, it's gonna probably stay around like that. But I'm not quite sure is Leadfoot having a lag, or is that his car sliding all over the place? But anyhow, seems to be Orange Falcon is making a little bit progress here. I think his car slid a little bit, and he's making a bit of progress. And now it is catching up slightly, ever so slightly, to Orange Falcon. And we are right now looking at two Pro-Am drivers here. There's a 205, that's a personal best for him, it is. Lost the car completely at the exit. That is total oversteer. Can he keep the car? And the gap now is back again up to 1.7 seconds. And do we have the fight for P6? The gap has actually gone up quite a bit, and I'm not quite sure why is that. The gap has gone up, and then Timo's tires seems to be the front tires. Timo's front tires seems to be in a better position, a better shape. Oh, that's not gonna help Nereus in his journey to catch up to Timo. Missed the brake point there, and yeah, hugged the wall. Nothing major, but then you can see the gap has now gone above 2 seconds for a bit there. But I think Nereus is somehow catching up, but there seems to be a little bit of struggling here and there. And I remember, I know that this is not gonna be the favorite track of anybody here, except for maybe a few. But it's a wonderful track, of course. And but the thing is that it's so technical, and if you get one turn wrong, and you'll end up on a wall. And luckily we don't have the penalties turned on for for wall collision. Imagine if he had the penalty for wall collision. And we still have, do we still have the battle between, okay, actually Leadfoot seems to have made a mistake, and Orange Falcon aka Carlos has caught up. Whoa, that's a lag and a half. That is not quite sure what the hell that was. That is some severe lag, and then he went up to 1 second plus all of a sudden. I'm not quite sure what even we were looking at. Monte Carlos now seems to be at the back of the pack, and he is now getting lapped by Leadfoot. Blue flags being waved for Monte Carlos. The blue flags meaning the back markers doesn't have to give way, even though the GT7 that does say to give way for the lead cars. In our league, we don't have that kind of a strict rule for back marker. Whoa, that's a really bad lag from Leadfoot. I have no idea what kind of internet connection that he's running, and the lag is pretty bad. Lag is pretty bad. Yeah, so in our league the rule is simple. Even though you are a back marker, you have your own race. You try to catch up to the pack, so you don't have to give way immediately. I mean, you don't have to give way at all, but you just have to stay in your line and be predictable, so the faster car can overtake easily. Additionally, if you are on the Discord, then you can communicate between the other driver and then tell him, hey, okay, let's just get the move done on this straight, that straight, or through this corner. Then because it's gonna save a lot of time for both the drivers. But anyway, the rule is that you are not really required to go out of your way to let the faster cars pass. So Monte Carlos somehow gets a 2-second penalty, and I have no idea what the hell was that. Let me check. I think he's also lagging hard. Not quite sure what that was. How did he pick up a 2-second penalty? I have no idea. I think he made a contact according to GT7, and I don't know what the hell went there, but yeah, he's lagging so hard, and I'm not quite sure. Could it be me? Is it my connection? Because I don't think it is my connection. I can see some drivers like Kipsey, Leadfoot, not Leadfoot, no, not Leadfoot, but Carlos. I can see him very clearly that he's driving, I mean, he's not lagging or anything. So could be both the connections, that maybe from my end also there's a contribution from their end also, but anyhow, the battle for P6 is, I have no idea what happened to Nereus. I think Nereus is struggling a little bit and he's losing a lot of time through that. And Musi is 10 seconds behind Nereus. Is that Monte Carlo that is in front of him? Okay, Musi is coming to the pits anyway. And Let's see what tire. I think he's gonna go into the medium. I think he was in a hot, maybe. I'm quite not sure. Did he run the hard tires? Because I remember Nereus and Edis were on the hard tires at the start, and they get rid of the hards. Let's see what tire that he's gonna go into. But Musi had a really bad start. I have no idea how that happened, and because I could not get a proper replay for that. But for Monte Carlos, I think that is completely on him, and there is nothing we can do about that. And we are just past 1 hour mark, and we do have 1 hour remaining. 1 hour full of action, hopefully, full of actions, and some overtakes also, and I can see some overtakes happening, and that is, I'm not quite sure where that is. Alright, that is these two. Actually, they are really close, Edis, and I think these two have caught up again. I think Timo has made a mistake somewhere, looks like it. That's why the gap is now down, and then we have battle for P4 and battle for P6. And no more. Nereus completely misses his braking point. I have no idea why he did not go back to the track, because now he's gonna pick up a penalty. He completely missed that braking point, and he went into the grass. He should have gone straight back into the track and continue a new lap, start a new lap. Because now I believe, not quite sure, but this could be a penalty actually. This potentially could be a penalty, and yeah, it's gonna be, I think, maybe, yeah, that's a penalty, exactly. That's a 3-second penalty, and it's completely gonna ruin it. So he should have, I don't know whether it's at that, I don't know at that time it was a possibility or for him, but he went into soft tire. I don't know, maybe he's looking in to close some gaps, catch up to some drivers. But we do have a P4 battle, but is it hot as P6 battle was? Is it? Not really. It is actually, they are really close. As of right now, it is Carlos and Litfoot is really close to each other. And he's almost coming into the back of the car, and is he gonna brake late and be brave and get the move done? No, I don't think so. But still, they're really close, but the gap has gone back to 4/10, and he probably will look to do it again. But again, the gap has gone up to 7/10 again. Let's see what happens at this straight, and if Carlos can get a good exit, and both the drivers, I mean all three drivers are really close. I mean under 1 second gap. Is Carlos gonna get a slipstream here? I mean, even though he gets a slipstream here, I don't think that it's gonna be enough for him to catch up. Maybe through the downhill section that they can, maybe they can close the gap. I think Carlos is actually doing pretty solid here. I think he touched the wall there, but no harm done. I'm not quite sure whether Leadfoot has. I think Leadfoot was safe. Yeah, the gap has almost of a sudden it went above 1 second, probably because of that that touch to the wall. I'm not quite sure we're gonna see any fights. As of now, the gap has already gone up to 1 second, and then it's slowly coming down, but not quite enough. I think you have to have somewhat like a 3/10 or maybe 4/10, 3/10 of a gap at P9 turn 19 to get a move done. But Carlos is actually closing the gap. But I think he's gonna go into the pits real soon. I think. Whoa! What's that? Did he hit him or not? I don't think that he hit him. Maybe it could be the lag of lead foot. But let me see. Not quite sure. Okay, I rewinded way too back. No, I don't think, but he overshot the braking point, that is. Yeah, he did overshot the braking point, but there was no contact whatsoever because Leadfoot quite comfortably now 3+ seconds ahead. Do we have any other fights going on? I think we do have some at the back. All right, we have a battle for P7 and P7 actually. Orca is looking to overtake Scott, and this is gonna be a really good battle actually. Look at Orca, like how close that he's driving to the wall. I mean, look at that. Monte Carlo said he's sorry, probably something has happened because we saw a yellow flag. I mean, of course, Apple J is on the track. Move on, do the right thing, follow the gentleman rule, and yeah, continue, of course. And Nereus also joins the fight here for P7. This is gonna be a really interesting one. And Orca now has 2/10 of a gap to Scott. I think he's gonna get this. It's pretty. I think it's pretty straightforward. But I think that the top speed of the old Sopra is not that much, I guess. So this can go down to the wire, and Scott goes defensive, but somewhat, of course, keep the car. I mean, not let him go side by side, and this can go down to the wire. Here we go, goes again. Really nicely defensive move there from Scott. He knows how to defend. I'll give it to him that he knows how to defend really well. And this is, I'm not quite sure if they're gonna get the move done. If Orca, Nereus in the background. Monte Carlos leave the room. I think he's getting these two are side by side, and there's a slight overlap, of course, and of course Orca get the move done because he was already inside right there, and I think Scott maybe realized that that is I mean, maybe at one point he's gonna pass me, so I don't know. Maybe, but then this is now, of course, we have to watch Nereus. And because Nereus now on the harder tire, this is now interesting. Nereus on the faster compound. Scott is in the medium compound. And this is a no-brainer for Nereus. Whoa, that's a lunge and a half. Of course, he misjudged that a little bit, of course, and now he has damage on the car, and I'm not sure that this damage is gonna auto repair before the straight, and it's gonna cost him some lap time. And off goes Scott. As you can see, yeah, the damage is of course affecting him. Now the gap has went up to 1 second, and he's out of the slipstream range, and he's still pulling away. I mean, that one slight wrong move of course costed him the place here, because he's not supposed to stay behind a medium runner, because Scott is a medium runner. He's not supposed to stay behind a medium runner for this long. We'll see, he's closing up the gap again, and Timo is in the pits with the medium tires. I think he also got rid of his hard tire, as I remember, and I'm not quite sure. Maybe not. Maybe he's gonna do that now. I'm not quite sure actually. Nereus sets the fastest lap of 2:04.891 with the softer compound. I think he's gonna get a point for fastest lap, I guess, and lost the rear there. A bit of an oversteer at the exit. Now Nereus has to be really careful here. Oh, Scott runs into the wall, and Nereus of course runs into Scott. Because of that, I think both of the drivers have no case. It's only Scott has damage, the front bumper and the left front wheel, and this gonna cost him dearly. But luckily, they are still at the curvy section of the track. But Nereus is in a really comfortable place to get this move done. Okay, the auto repair's done its job the straight, but I don't think he can hold Nereus whatsoever. And it goes but the top speed, I think Scott has lifted a little bit there. I'm not quite sure why. And Nereus makes a little bit of a mistake. I think he overshot the brake. Scott did lift, of course, slightly. He lifted slightly, and I'm not sure. Maybe there was a communication going between them, but at one point it seems that both the drivers are having the same speed. Maybe RX-7 having more top end speed against the Genesis, I'm not quite sure. And Musi is also in the picture, 3 seconds behind. I think somebody spun in the front, and that is 80s. Something has happened to him, and I'm not quite sure. His car is stationary. I think probably. I hope it is not something to do with, I'm not quite sure. Maybe the shifters, maybe the paddles, something has gone wrong. That's why he was just not quite sure what is happening with him. He just reversed and then again went straight left. Looks like a technical difficulty, but not quite sure, but really bad actually. But looks like a technical issue of some sort, and he's still there. You can see in the map. And now comes Musi into the picture. Let's go on board with Musi. Musi is closing up. He was 3 seconds behind, and somehow, I have no idea, but he is now in the picture. again. And I think Scott is he saving fuel? He could be saving fuel, but we don't know. I have no idea, but could be saving fuel. Alright, I'll be back. I need a small break for 1 minute break, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and the fight is still going on between these two, and it seems like they are equally matched on pace. And if you look at the drivers ahead, I think there will be some backmarkers in the mix. As you can see, some are getting overtaken, but apart from that, I don't believe that we have any drivers that are fighting for positions. Sway with a 4.5 second penalty, and I'm not quite sure what kind of... My goodness me. Saif is okay. Edie's now left the room, of course. Probably he had an issue with the wheel, so yeah, we all saw that coming. And Sway is gonna be served the penalty, and then probably he can grab a drink meanwhile and finish the drink as well through that penalty. And we have the only fight as of right now. Not quite sure how many fights are going on. Maybe Narius could be in some sort of fight with Carlos. Okay, we have a battle actually. We have two battles now. Carlos and Narius, then Scott and Musi. Narius is catching up really fast. And then the fight between these two are heating up as well. Musi is coming to catch him up, goes to the inside. Meaning that... Okay, I was about to say that, meaning that he'll be on the outside when it comes to the turn, but Scott seems to be struggling a little bit, and Musi gets the move done. That was... yeah, that was a good move, and I think we have Carlos. Something has happened. I'm not quite sure. Can we see the move? No, the move is already done. We'll see what happened to Carlos here. Oh, he did not break I think, at the breaking point, and he gets completely stuck. That's pretty bad. That's a bummer, of course. I mean, he's been running a really solid race up until, I think, maybe that point, or I think he made a couple of errors, but he was running a solid race overall. But let's go to the front of the pack. We have P1, P2 really alone, and Saif goes into the pits with the hard tires, and I think maybe Leadfoot will get the lead now. If this is just a tire change, no, it won't be just a tire change, because he's only having 8. Wow, that's some lag, Leadfoot. Yeah, he has 18% of fuel, and Leadfoot has only 5% of fuel. So, of course, everybody will be refueling, and Safe will be joining us, joining the track with the medium tires. And Leadfoot, I believe that he already served his mandatory hard tire. He did that, of course. And then Keepsy, I'm not quite sure actually what this man is gonna do. I mean, 1/10 already up on the first sector. The field is pretty much, I mean, spread across now. We barely has any fights, and Timo is now P4. I'm not quite sure where he is with his tires or the fuel, or he's expecting another pit stop. So we all have to consider. We have to consider that all. Keeps is running a really solid race here, and it's a personal best 5/10 up already by the second sector. He ran the same car on the same track in season 2, and yeah, won the race. I mean, given that the Saif is not in the picture, of course, well, of course, for the Pro-Am, I mean, it's gonna be Kipsy. Really solid driver, Pro-Am driver, going up against Leadfoot, who's a pro driver. At the end of third sector, that is somewhat of a like 2,000ths of a second only, the improvement. Let's see whether he's gonna improve through this sector, the final sector. He does. By 3/10 he improves his lap time by 3/10. That is pretty good. Let's jump into Timo's car. Okay, looks like Timo does not have enough fuel though, but he's now running the harder tire compound, so he has to come for fuel, and Orca is on medium tire, so he's gonna get these overtake done. There won't be any issues for Orca running the medium compound, and given that the driver is pretty fast. Scott comes into the pits, Mussy comes into the pits in that same order, but Mussy has a lot of fuel remaining in the tank, and this probably is gonna be the final pit stop for both of these guys, I believe so, because we are 1 hour 25 minutes into this race. I think they can easily go for 35 minutes, and Timo definitely can run with these hard tires to the end, but he has to pit one more time for fuel, so I'm not quite sure. Maybe he'll go for either softer compound or the medium compound. So yeah, that's gonna decide like where he's gonna end up his net position, because I have no clue what it's gonna be. But if he's going for a tire and a fuel change, I believe that it's gonna take like maybe 40 some seconds, and I think Scott is able to catch up. And we started the race on night and we'll finish the race on night. So this is a 24-hour cycle, and you can see now the sun already set actually. Orca is actually struggling to keep up with Timo on hard tires. Okay, that's surprising. Maybe he had a little bit of distance at turn 19, but somehow I think Orca definitely gonna do it this time around turn 1 and through that straight. He's at 3/10, so he's definitely gonna do this. I think in front we have a back marker as well. I believe so. That's gonna be Andre. And this is interesting. Okay, so let me check Orca. Yeah, Orca is on a worn medium tires, and he has to come to the pits as well, and Timo has to come to the pits as well. So either way, if Timo does not change the tires, I think he can definitely go with these tires to the end of the race. But if he only does fueling, but Orca will have fresher tires, of course. As well, the faster tire, and yeah, I think 30 minutes is enough for Orca to catch up to Timo back and get that position. But for Leadfoot, I'm not quite sure, because as of right now, with this pace, I don't think that Orca has a podium covered. And the driver here we are seeing, it's not a back marker, it's Leadfoot. So Leadfoot is running P3 4 seconds ahead, almost 5 seconds ahead. And Orca still cannot seem to get this move done. Must be frustrated. Must be super impressed, just like me, because I'm really impressed on how Timo is doing the race. And here comes Orca into the pits, and that's a solid race from Timo. And I believe that Orca already done his harder compound, because my memory, I mean, it's pretty bad. But let's see if Timo is able to catch up to Leadfoot. Goes purple in the first sector by how much I'm not sure, but it seems like Timo is definitely catching up to Leadfoot. And but the problem is right now, Leadfoot is already done his, I believe he has done his final pit stop already. He's in the fresh mediums, already full is there, I think, to go to the end. So he doesn't have a pit stop to do, but Timo does. So I'm kind of curious to see what Timo is gonna do here. And let's see, let's go down the grid and see how's everybody is doing. So I think Carlos is also set until the end of this stint. I think until the end of the race, I think he has enough fuel. I believe that he has enough fuel, and the hard tire will take him through the to the end of the race. Fuel, I'm not quite sure, but I think he can do something. And Nereus, I hope that he did his calculations, because I'm not quite sure this amount of fuel is gonna do the job, but I think he has it covered, and he knows like how many laps, so how much average fuel consumption that he has. I'm not quite sure if you have that in GT 7. I think we do have that. Maybe we do, maybe we don't, because I can't remember anymore. But I think if that's the case, I mean, if this slightly more half a tank fuel that gonna take him through, then yeah, this is actually gonna drop Timo all the way back. Even behind Orca, I believe so, because Orca is now with a fresh medium tires, and but looking at the fuel, I'm not quite sure whether Orca overfueled the car or that's the right amount of fuel. I'm not quite sure. And Scott, I believe so. The same strat with Nereus. So he's now sitting behind 18 seconds, but the fight actually between Timo and Scott, they have to have a 15 points difference at the end of the results. So I don't think otherwise Timo can grab the Drivers' Championship. I mean, for the Asia Cup, of course, this is not the I'm not quite sure. Like, we have the overall Driver Championship listed for the season 3, but because season 3 is like I said, it's split into 3 parts. The first we have done the Europe Cup with all the Europe cars only with Europe tracks, and now we are doing the Asian part with all the Asian tracks listed in GT7, with all the Asia manufacturers listed in GT7, and the next one gonna be the America. So all the American tracks with just the American cars. I mean, that's gonna be really interesting, given that we have a very small selection of cars. I mean, that's gonna be really interesting one to look at. So fastest lap, I think Saif, if he wants that, he can just switch to softer compound and get it done. Alright, Timo is in the pits. I think the person to watch out is Scott, and he's now approaching the pit stops. And Timo is out from the pits. I think he did not change the tires. He just came out with fuel only, and he oh no, actually he actually changed the tires and he refueled as well. My goodness. If this is the case, and now look at this, Timo has fresher tires. Orca did pit, but the tire situation on Orca and Timo, they had an offset. They had an offset before, with Timo running on harder compound and Orca was running on the medium compound, but of course the medium was a little bit worn out, but still Orca could not get the move done. And this is gonna be interesting. I'm actually willing to see this, and we can go and watch Orca, see how he's gonna catch up and he's gonna make the move stick this time. Probably not on this lap, definitely not on this lap, because you can see Timo's getting a really good good exit. But then again, of course, the slipstream effect or that top speed effect comes into play, and gap, you can see, slightly shrink, and then again the gap is going up. Let's go on board with Orca. Oh, there was a little bit of slide from Timo. That's not gonna help. It brought all the gap back to under 5 tenths. No, under 7 tenths. Car control from Orca is superb, and he's now in the slipstream. 4 tenths, is it enough? Not quite sure it's gonna be enough, but I don't know why he's going. Not quite sure why did he went to grass. He's flashing the lights to Timo. Whoa, okay. He's just lifting a lot, and he's having an indicator on. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, he's lifting a lot. Alright, he's gonna get the move done here. Okay, that's bye-bye actually. But the top speed of the NSX, I'm not quite sure what's going on. No. I think Timo's cars in NSX have great top speed. I'm not quite sure. This is great side-by-side action. A lot of Timo looked for a bit. He looked inside for a bit, but not quite sure that. I think when it comes to the, the free air, not quite sure. Like if he can match the pace of Orca. I mean, that was a great fight between them through the last turn, of course. But I think Orca maybe like he was just flashing the light, maybe asking for the position. I mean, of course, like he's faster. Like there's no doubt about it. Orca is faster. But now you can see it is Scott and Timo. I mean, it's P7 and P8, so it's not gonna do much for Timo when it comes to the championship. So I think the championship will remain same. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of changes when it comes to that. Timo is still actually keeping up with Orca. That's quite impressive, if you ask me. I mean, Orca being a really fast driver, and he's under 2 tenths now. Can he get into the slipstream? I don't think that Timo is gonna try for that move, but he's looked into the inside. Is he gonna be brave on the brakes and get the move? No. I mean, if I was Timo, I'll be working together with Orca now to close the gap to Carlos and actually swoop in and get that position. I mean, that is if I were Timo, but Timo probably maybe trying to get the place from Orca. Could be. But now the gap between Orca and Carlos is slightly below 4 seconds. Will they be able to catch that? And we have EnduroX actually. How far ahead to Ledford? That is, my goodness, 33 seconds. 33 seconds is the leading three. And do we have any chance of anybody changing the podium? Do we have anything? I don't think so. But you can see the gaps are 16 seconds, 17 seconds. It's just about 15 seconds. So I don't think anything magically will happen unless someone like me driving top of the pack and screwing up on one of the turns. Because these Leadfoot, of course, Leadfoot's car, I mean, the tires seems to be fine. He just have to like survive 15 to 17 minutes. Looks fine. All right. Fuel will be okay. I think Nereus has the lowest fuel, but I think he'll be okay, I guess. And the gap's been closed by Orca to 1.5 seconds, and he's dragging Timo along with him in his slipstream. So the best option right now for Timo to do is to work together with Orca and get that P5 or P6. Because the gap between, I mean, they still have like about 17 minutes to work together and catch up to the leaders. Orange Falcon goes wide, he goes to the wall, and now the gap has come down to 4 tenths. That is unlucky. He was actually, honestly, genuinely was running a really good race. Oh, we can see some of the, I think there was a push from Orca. I think he's trying to catch up to the leaders now. Maybe Orca is actually working together. And this is really smart. And Timo comes into the picture almost side by side there. Looks like Timo doesn't want to work together with Orca, but Orca seems to be willing to work together with Carlos to get to the leaders, because the gap is 12 seconds to reach Nereus, but now Orca actually sending it inside, and I think he's pretty safely gonna get that position. Yep, there is no doubt about it. And Timo is following up, of course, and Timo almost side by side. I think if Timo needs to get a little bit close to get that side draft, and NXX have top end speed, but they're still side by side. Let's see who will break last. Gonna get the place, and that's gonna be Carlos. I mean, Carlos had a great race at the start. I think he made, of course, a couple of mistakes, unfortunate, but overall he had a really great race. And I think when it comes to overall Pro-Am drivers, I think Nereus did the best. I'm not quite sure about his fuel as of now, but I think he has done a good job to be there somewhat. Actually, I mean, not in the podium, Oh, of course, I'm actually forgetting Keepsy. Actually, it is Keepsy who has done the best in when it comes to Pro-Am. Of course, he's in a podium right now, sandwiched between two pro drivers. And we have Timo now, somehow, I think still on Orca slipstream somewhat, but the gap to Carlos, it's already more than 1 second, and I think it's just gonna keep growing, I guess. Nerias is right now P4, and the gap to the car ahead is 35 seconds. That's a lot of ground. And we have a back marker. We have Andre in between Nerias and Orca as well, but Andre is not gonna be an obstacle here. And but of course, like I said, the blue flags are blue flags. I mean, it's just blue flags in GT7. You just don't have to go out of your way to give the faster driver. Nerias made another mistake. Just touched the wall. I think this can now help Orca to close the gap, but it is now 11 seconds. I think Orca has a lot of work to do. And I believe Orca and Timo are still close. Orca is dragging Timo along with him in his slipstream, and they are actually getting closer to Nerias, but we have like around 13 minutes to get it done, and Nerias is quite comfortably 11 seconds ahead. I mean, it needs a huge mistake from Nerias for any of them to get through. I mean, that's also, I mean, a big if at this point, because I mean, yes, Nerias has made some mistakes, but you can see, but he's somewhat I mean, keeping on the track, and now the gap has come down to 10.5 seconds, and somehow Orca is catching up. And Timo is coming behind Orca. Oh wait, Nerias is going to the pits. No way. Only 11 minutes remaining. Did he get it wrong? Timo gets that place. Timo gets the place, actually. Now what about Scott? Scott is also gonna overtake Nerias. This is a disaster. He's gonna go into the soft tire again. I think there is something. I think Nerias miscalculated the strategy here, because he's just, I think, have done an additional pit stop. Musi also comes to the pit. Okay, Nerias is ahead of sorry. Okay, that is my bad. Actually, Nerias is ahead of Scott, because I thought Scott is gonna get it, because I saw that he's on the pit straight, but looks like he was not. But now Nerias on the softer tire, Scott on the medium, and that is a worn tire as well. There is no chance. And we have two cars in between, Timo and Scott. So that is gonna be P5 and P8. So let me just go into the race results and let me do some mathematics to see if any of these makes sense. So it's gonna be P1 is gonna be 35. So as of right now, Timo is sitting at P5. Sorry, P1 gonna be 35 points, and then P5 is gonna be 29, and then Scott is gonna be P8. It's gonna be 28. So it's just a 3 points difference. So yeah, it's not gonna get anything done. Not gonna get anything done. The championship is actually gonna stay as it is, and let me see where Keeps is sitting in the drivers championship. If he's gonna get any points, Keeps is sitting at 129. So he's gonna overscore Edis. Edis is DNS. DNF, and he's gonna get 33 points here. So let me do the math. On 29 points, he's sitting at 129, and he's gonna get 162 points. So Edie's gonna get 162 points. My goodness. Let's see the current standing, how it's gonna go. So I'm just doing the calculation. So sorry, not Edie's. It's gonna. Wise keeps in the pit stop. I think he can safely get the pit stop done. Oh, he just lost the P2. And he jumps into the harder. Okay, Orca is P4, but he's 1 minute. Okay, he's 1 minute ahead, so he's just in a yeah, he's gonna get a podium, so there is no issues whatsoever. And so I think that is P3 for Keepsy. Let's just assume. So he's gonna get 32 points. Then he's gonna be sitting at 161 points at the end of the race. So we need to actually consider who are in the championship fight and see where they're gonna end up. And then Timo, where he's sitting right now, I think he's quite comfortably. Yeah, Timo will finish quite comfortably in P5 as of right now. So when we think about, let's say he's gonna get 29 points. Timo is gonna get 29 points. So how much is sitting at? 146. Yeah, he's gonna go up to he's gonna go up to 175 points. Alright, so I think, yeah, the order I think will not change that much. And then 80s is completely out. And then we have Scott with 161. As of right now, Scott with 161. And then how much Scott gonna get if he stays at P8? Let me check. So for P8 he's gonna get 126. So I think 26. Yeah, so he's gonna sit at 187. So yeah, so he's quite comfortably going to end up winning the drivers championship. And from the things right now, I don't think anything is gonna change that much drastically. Mr. Consistency somehow I mean, he kept his pace and consistency, of course, throughout the uh, this Asia Cup of season 3, and then yeah, that consistency actually it carried him all the way to the final race. Actually, even though he's not even in the top 3 or top 5 or anything like that, but still he's gathering some good amount of points, and then that's gonna actually it's still gonna have a good amount of points lead. Actually, it's just right now I can see 12 points lead still. Started the final race with 15 points, and we still have 12 points lead. So we are actually seeing the podium for the Drivers' Championship. It's gonna be Scott with 187 points, if I'm correct, of course, because I'm just referring to the previous the scoring system, and I hope that I'm right. So Timo's gonna sit at P2 with 175 points, but the only change that we're gonna have in the Drivers' Championship, that is too bad. That is actually very sad for 80s, because 80s was P3 in the championship, and then he's gonna lose that podium position to Kipsy. Kipsy gonna step up to P3 in the Drivers' Championship. That's the only change that we are seeing. All right, let's go to our race leader, and we go on board with the race leader on this final 2 minutes. I think this is gonna be probably the final lap of the race, because it's already 2 minutes 1 second. It's already 1 minute, under 1 minute. So this is gonna be the final lap, and I'll be back. So we are currently running on board with our race leader, Saif, the South African driver, and he's winning the race with a 37 seconds lead. He's completely in a different league right now, and he started, I think, somewhere at the middle of the pack, and we have some yellow flags. You can see somebody's doing donuts. I'm not quite sure. Looks like it's Andre, of course, doing the donuts for us, I guess. And here we go, the final lap. We have done 56 laps, and crossing the finish line. That's a really solid job from Saif. 38-second gap to P2, and because of Keepsy's final pit stop, I have no idea why that pit stop was there in the first place, but he caught up so much. Keepsy under, almost 1 second. Yeah, it is around 1 second, of course, 1.1 second. Ledford and keeps it there, closing and finishing the race. I mean, that is a really good battle, of course. A good race, not a good battle, of course, but Keepsy was doing P2 and he was doing really well. Um, really well. I have no clue. I mean, he did not have enough fuel and he didn't want to go for fuel saving. So he just went and went to the pits and did a quick splash and jump in. But I think he did pretty well as a pro-am driver to secure P3. And Orca started, of course, as always, started back of the pack and climbed all the way up to P4. Well done for Orca. Very well done. And Neri, the pro-am driver, crosses the line at P5 and solid race from them and solid race from Timo secures P2 in the championship and Carlos secures P7 in the race. And Scott, here comes our drivers championship for the Asia Cup. Solid performance throughout the season, throughout the Asia Cup, and crosses the line as drivers championship. Take a bow, Mr. Scott. Well done, well done. And Keepsy, from what I believe, is actually steps into the podium P3 as the drivers champion. So yeah, that's gonna be it from my end, I think, for the stream. And that was a good race. Actually, we had some battles, of course. That's how Bathurst is gonna be. And yeah, we're gonna have some close fights in between, and then of course there are gonna be mistakes from the drivers, and the field's gonna be spread a little bit. But overall, really great race. I enjoyed that, but I wanted to watch that live, of course, the finale for the Asian Cup. Hope everybody enjoyed that. And yeah, if you're watching this after the race, of course, this is a long video. And yeah, thank you very much so for watching and dropping by. And look around the channel. You can see so many games I have. I've been playing so many genre of games. And yeah, if you like what you see, then stick around, drop us up. And if you enjoyed it, yeah, drop a like, and I'll see you in the next one.